Welcome to Doing Makeup, but for hooded eyes. I'm Peachy. Sorry I've been gone for a little bit. It was only like 3 weeks, I think. Anyways, we are jumping into this look today. This is inspired by Brynne over on TikTok. It's her signature look, so I had to try it to see if we could make it work for hooded eyes. Everything I use in this video will be linked in the description below, so let's get into it. The key to Brynne's look is the tape. If your eyes are a little bit sensitive to tape, you can put your fingers on the sticky part a few times so it's not super sticky and then put it on your skin. I heard that helps. Instead of using scotch tape like she does, I'm going to use some washi tape because that's gentler on the skin. I'm going to try to match it as best as I can to my other eye, but I'm going to place the outer corner first and relax my eye and just go as straight as I possibly can. Now I'm going to go in with some primer. Primer is essential if you want your eye look to last all day and to prevent creasing inside that little hood area. I'm using P. Louise Base Pro in shade Rumor 2, one of my favorite eyeshadow primers of all time. I'm just going to put that on my eye and blend it out with a beauty blender. Okay, now to prevent creasing, and this is case by case and depends on the look, but I'm going to put some setting powder all over my lid. Just a little bit. I'm using the Laura Mercier translucent setting powder. The palette I'm using today is the Urban Decay Metal Mania palette. I'm also using the brush that comes inside of the palette because it just works super well. I mean, why not use it? So I'm going to be starting with shade Sound Tower. So there's two ends to the brush that comes inside the palette. There's this fluffier end and then there's this smaller, more compact end. We're going to start with the smaller, more compact side. Now I got all that pigment on the very tip of the brush, tapped off the excess, and now what I'm going to do is go right in this outer corner with a relaxed eye, of course. Keep in mind when doing this tape trick, when you're making the length of it, make it shorter than you think it should be, because with the blending that we're going to do, it's going to end up being a little bit longer. So it might end up being longer than you wanted. So try to keep it kind of minimal when it comes to length. Unless you want it super long, that's fine, but I just wanted to mention it. Okay, we're just putting it on this outer corner here and bringing it slightly above our hood. When you close your eyes, if you have any gaps right here, just fill them in. Just don't bring them in very far. You know, just fill them in as you go. Now that we have that slightly above our hood, I'm going to take now the fluffy side of the brush and go in with the first shade, which is shade Double Kick. If you guys have been following my Instagram stories, you might have seen that I found a little homeless cat. And I gave her a bath and clipped her nails and took her in, and she's climbing around my makeup desk right now. I decided to name her Marcy after Marceline the Vampire Queen on Adventure Time. Let's see if she'll say hi. Isn't she so pretty? Just rubbing her face on my mic. Okay, you're knocking all my stuff over. Okay, anyways, we're gonna use that lighter shade to go right over the edge of the darker right here and just blend it out, kind of towards your temple and up. Now, I'm going to do this a bit different than what Brynne does, because when I'm doing tutorials inspired by other creators, you have to tailor them to your eye shape. I don't have any lid space and I have to create my own. I'm going to go in with the darker shade that we first used, shade Sound Tower, on the small condensed side of the brush. Now I'm just going to take a very small amount. I'm just going to start following it underneath my brow a little bit just to create more shape. And then I'm going to blend that out with the lighter shade and the fluffy end. Now we can grab a pencil liner. She uses a cream eyeliner. I don't have a cream eyeliner. I'm just going to use a pencil. I'm using the NYX Epic Smoke Liner in shade Black Smoke. What I'm going to do first is, again, just go on the outer corner and only bring it to about right here. We're just going to go right into that hood. Now I see I have this little gap here. I'm just going to fill that in so that it's even with where I ended the first line. Okay, now I'm going to take a small condensed brush. If you have this palette, you can use the same small end if you want to, but I'm going to go in with the e.l.f. eye crease brush, and I'm going to go in a very dark brown in the same palette. Instead of getting the shadow on the very tip of my brush, I went on the side here, and I'm going to take that side and go directly over the black liner. Now that we have that packed directly on top, I'm going to just start bringing it slightly above. And now going back to the small end on the first brush that we used, I'm going to go in with the first shade that we used as well, shade Sound Tower. Get some on the tip of the brush and go over the brown that we brought up above the black. Then using the fluffy side, I dipped into that lightest shade, Double Kick, and I'm going to go over that and just start blending. Now when you are blending, I wouldn't do windshield wiper motions like this because we want to keep this inner corner area very bright. So you just want to go in to about the middle of your eye and blend out. So you're placing the brush, blending, placing, and then blending. I'm personally pretty happy with that, so I'm going to peel this tape off. Pretty! Now I'm going to take a Q-tip and just get rid of the stickiness and also any fallout that happened past the tape. And this is totally optional. I just wanted to blend a little bit more on the outer edge over here. I'm going to take a fluffy brush and my face powder. This is the MAC Studio Fix in shade NW20. I'm going to take a little bit on just the outer edges. I'm going to do my base makeup and then I'll be back so we can finish this up. Okay, I've done my base. I'm going to use the brush that we've been using, the two-sided brush that came with the palette. I'm going to use the smaller side and dip into shade Sound Tower. And only using a very small amount, I'm going to go on my lower lash line. And then I'm just going to clean off the fluffy end and blend that even more. Now I'm just going to use a really small amount of highlighter kind of right here in this little pocket where she does too. I'm using the ColourPop Super Shock Cheek in shade Stole the Show. And just blend it out with my finger a little. And I'm just going to take a clean fluffy brush and blend out any harsh edges. Okay, you can stop here if you want and add some mascara or even add some lashes if you want to. But she adds an inner corner, so I'm going to attempt to do an inner corner. She also uses a cream black eyeliner. I don't have a cream black eyeliner, so I'm just going to use a liquid liner and then maybe put some black eyeshadow over it so it's not so harsh. When you're doing an inner corner, usually people will follow their top lash line and just draw a line straight out, but mine goes kind of down, so from my inner corner, I'm just going to go down and then make it a little bit more straight, if that makes sense. You essentially want to make a little triangle. So now from my bottom lash line, I'm going to go and meet this point right here. Fortunately, I had to do most of that off camera because doing an inner corner when I'm not like a centimeter away from my mirror is almost impossible. I'd like to do an inner corner tutorial for anybody that needs it at some point in the future. I just have to figure out a different camera angle so you guys can see what I'm doing. Because again, it's so hard for me to do it when I'm not like a centimeter away from my mirror. I'm gonna go put some mascara and lashes on and I'll be back. Okay, if you made it to the end of this video, congratulations, you are my favorite. I love how this turned out personally. I love a good eyeshadow wing and I hope you give it a try. Now, if you're finding me through YouTube, I actually do shorter form tutorials over on TikTok and Instagram, so make sure to give me a follow over there. And as always, if this video was helpful to you at all and you enjoyed it, don't forget to give me a like and even hit subscribe. That would mean the absolute world to me. And leave me a comment down below if you want to see any specific looks and I will add them to my list. Thank you so much for watching this video and I'll see you in the next one.